economic development for the city of Tulsa. We also have on today Rachel Strasburger, who helps administer the program, and Kyan Kamitz, who is the Director of Economic Development, or Chief of Economic Development. That was bad. You'd think I'd get this straight by now. But I think over the last year, Clay Hulk has really been running this program for the city and has done a good job, and really, I think, improving the transparency of the program, getting things posted to the website, like the utilization year over year, and Rachel's been a big part of that. We are recruiting for, as Clay has moved into another role, we are actively recruiting for a new small business enterprise director who will be taking Clay's place, and so hopefully we'll have that person in place here in December-ish. Or the first of the year, and so we're really looking forward to having some additional staff committed to working with our small businesses and improving our outreach and training programs. We will, along the lines of training, have another training program coming up in December where we'll be talking about specific to architects and engineers who might be small businesses or primes. About how to improve your letter of interest statement of qualifications. All of our engineering architecture contracts are qualification selections based on the best qualified group to do that, as compared to our contractor selections, which are lowest bid. So the letter of interest statement of qualifications is really what goes into setting apart your company and your qualifications from others. So we want to do a training on that coming up here in December, talk about how to get your best information out there and win more projects for engineers and architects. That is all the announcements that I have for this morning. Do we have Kellye on this morning? Kellye Johnson is the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Support Staff or Program Manager for the Oklahoma Department of Transportation. And she is going to be presenting to us this morning about opportunities to be registered as a Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, or DBE, with the Oklahoma Department of Transportation. And some of you may already be registered in that respect. Others of you this may be new, but we always want to be providing our small businesses with new opportunities to grow their services and grow their contract availability. So we want to help connect you guys to other opportunities that are not just here with the city of Tulsa. And so just a little bit about Odot's program. It is different than the city of Tulsa's. The city of Tulsa, as you know, is a small business program. Odot receives federal funding through the Federal Department of Transportation. And because of that, they have different rules on their DBE programs, and they have MBE and WBE, Minority Business Enterprise and Women Business Enterprise programs as part of their DBEs, and that's some of the things that they keep track of, and that's very important from the Department of Transportation's perspective, using those federal funds, and they have that accountability. They also have, goals under their DBE program for utilization. So it's a really great program. I think they do a good job of making that available. I know when I was doing prime contracting, it was always great to be on teams that were, not just one or two groups, but you would get around a table and there'd be 7 or 8 different companies that all made up one team, one doing geotech and another doing survey and somebody doing, traffic control and somebody else doing roadways, another person doing bridge engineering and so on. And so it's really interesting, the diversity of work that goes on with the Department of Transportation, the range of skills that's required to get a contract done. I was always working on the engineering side, but they have the same kind of diversity that's present there in their construction contracting as well. One of the nice things about the Department of Transportation's program is that it gets you set up not only to do work for the State Department of Transportation, but because it is a federal program, it does have some overreach across other programs. So if you were registered with Odot as a DBE, you would also be able to do work for other Department of Transportations, like for example, the airport contracts. Or other things. And so one of the nice things about ODOT's DBE program is that it's not only DBE, but other programs across the state. And Kellye is here to talk with us. Kellye, I'm so glad that you're able to join us this morning, and we've been looking forward to hearing from you. And Kellye's going to be talking to us about the Oklahoma Department of Transportation's this enterprise program and how you can get registered there and how to take advantage of the contracting opportunities that are present in the Oklahoma Department of Transportation and the other businesses and other agencies that you can work with as a result. Kellye, I'll let you take it from here if that's okay.
Okay.
Great.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to get my screen together so you guys can see. Let me know. See it. Yeah, okay.
I can see your presentation. That's great.
Okay, good. So I am Kellye Johnson I'm the supportive services for the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise program. I assist with the application. So after this call, you can use my contact information to get help. I coordinate training. So there's two types of training. There's trainings that's just for certified firms. And then there's trainings for another program that we call SET, which is just small enterprise trainings, and that's offered to any small business that may want to get, do some business with the Department of Transportation. And then I administer the reimbursement program. So yes, if you are certified, there are some things you can be reimbursed for in connection with you growing with your business. So we reimburse for any kind of training that you're doing, any classes you take. We can reimburse for to a certain amount for your website design or updates, and also for financial audits. And that's all that I do. And then I'll go ahead and we'll go over what is the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, and I probably will say DBE. Most people go ahead and shorten it and use that acronym. So the primary purpose of the DBE supportive services is to provide training, assistance, and services to firms that are certified in the DBE program with the state of Oklahoma to facilitate the firm's development into viable, self-sufficient businesses capable of competing for and performing on federally assisted highway projects. That's a mouthful, so it's short. We want to make sure that we are helping you grow into better businesses, and then also helping you get onto these contracts for the transportation projects. Benefits of becoming a certified DBE firm, connection with DBE firms and other entities. So I always encourage networking. You learn so much from each other people that have been in the business. Again, the training opportunities. There are some events that are specific to networking and matchmaking, trying to match companies up. So matching smaller companies up with prime companies. Training reimbursement, web design reimbursement, and assistance with business profile or your capability statement. So people use different terms for capability statements, just a brochure or literature that shows what you can do and what your services are, what your business can do, what you're certified in, kind of an information sheet. So we can assist with that. Then the other programs offered through our program, the onboarding program, which is a webinar such as virtually now. And so usually if we could have them face-to-face, the new certified firms would come in and meet the staff of the Civil Rights Department, maybe get a small tour of the central office for Odot, things like that, and then go through a training to know how to use the website, what to look for upcoming projects, and trying to help them maneuver through the site. So now that's offered virtually. So that's the onboarding program. Then, of course, reimbursements and assistance, and then the small enterprise training, which is the program that's for, it's not specific to certified DBEs, but any small business. Onboarding, I kind of already went over that. Is just for new certified DBEs. We try to do it quarterly. So, but I encourage people, if they forget, I'll probably send out an email and encourage certified DBEs to try to come to an onboarding or log on to one, because the website has changed. So finding information is going to be a little different. So onboarding is there to help you maneuver through the information. And then the reimbursement assistance program, the trainings have to be just trainings that would develop your business. So, for example, pretty much any business course is going to fall, under that. Conferences fall under it, as long as the conference has an agenda and has a training, at specific times or at a specific time, then you can get reimbursed for conferences. The company website design, just depends on what that company charges. We will reimburse up to $250 towards your website, whether that's design or, sometimes there's renewals and fees that go along with your website. All of that is included in that website design reimbursement. The financial audit reimbursement is usually for the larger audits. If a small business or a certified firm is looking to become a prime or a large company or a company that can, bid directly to Odot, then it's required. These financial audits are required, and they're usually pretty expensive. So we reimburse up to $5,000 on those types of audits. So yeah, that's very good. A lot of people don't know about it, so we try to encourage certified firms, especially as you grow, to take advantage of getting those types of audits, because you'll need it to bid on bigger jobs. The SET program, the Oklahoma Department of Transportation has launched a small enterprise training program to facilitate increased participation in construction contracting opportunities by Oklahoma small businesses. So again, that's any small business. What some people don't understand is that airports and waterways are considered part of the transportation as well. So a lot of businesses can benefit from this program, because they can be a vendor at an airport, or if there's some, if there's a shopping center or any place for consumers or any chance of construction in any of those avenues, you can become, being certified can help you out. So the SED program is kind of a way to let people know about the DBE program, as well as helping them benefit and grow as a business. Let's see, the SED will offer free training in Oklahoma-based companies, which meets National Small Business Administration size guidelines, and are actively pursuing ODOT contracting opportunities. SED's goal is to assist ODOT certified disadvantaged business enterprise and other small businesses currently involved in or interested in expanding their operations in the road construction industry. These workshops will help to increase the participants' business expertise and their capacity to acquire and perform contracts both in the public and private sector. So it's pretty good program. I am the person that coordinates these trainings, and so I like to pass out surveys or ask people what do they want training on. So that's another benefit, that you can submit exactly what you want or need help with, and we will try to put a training together for it. So I did want to show you a checklist of the actual application, just so you can know what types of information you need or what may have to gather if you're interested in becoming certified. In order to complete your application for DBE, AC DBE certification, you must attach copies of all of the following required documents: Failure to supply any information requested by the UCP may result in your firm denied DBE or ACDBE certification. And we usually have you apply for both because, again, ACDBE just means Airport Concessions DBE. So that means you would be certified across the board. So we usually encourage everyone to certify for both. Now I'm going to pull up this checklist just so you can see what kind of things you have to turn in. So if you just over here we'll just start to the left, resumes. You have to have resumes of all owners and officers. Personal net worth statement, that's a statement that we give you for you to fill out and turn in. Federal tax returns, proof of contributions used to acquire ownership. So if you acquired the ownership or you pay something out, those type of things. Loan agreements, list of equipment. Keep going up. All forms of licenses, titles. Schedule of salaries, list of all employees, job titles and dates of employment. I also want to mention the things that I am mentioning some businesses may not have, especially if you're just starting out. You don't have to be in business very long. You have to be in business long at all to apply to be certified. As long as you have your registration with the state, and if you're incorporated articles of organization, as long as you're registered and have all the information, then you can apply. So some of these things you just won't have yet. You just have to explain why you don't have it. Let's see what else. You also need your personal tax returns. So for all owners listed on that application, we do tax returns for them and personal net worth statements. Suppliers, you can use that. Proof of citizenship. So you kind of see the types of things that you need. Some of the things is pretty self-explanatory, just, proving that you have the business and that you are operating the business or have the capabilities of operating the business. After the application is submitted, it goes through a process where there's 2 reviewers for the state that reviews your application, and then they'll set up a meeting. So you'll have an in-person or maybe virtual with the times now, meeting to show where your office space is and that you are capable of doing that work. And then the decision, if you're accepted or denied for a certification, happens after that. The process usually takes around 90 days, and the regulation, that's the cap for the regulation, is 90 days. But other than that, we're all there. All of the staff is here to help anyone that wants to be in this program. I think it is very beneficial, and we just want to make sure everybody that's eligible knows about it. So I'll go ahead and open the floor up for questions, good comments.
And just remember to unmute your phones if you would like to make a comment there. Kellye, I had one question, just comparing it to what the city does. We try to make it a little more streamlined here, but we can have a 30-day period on our applications where we want everybody to get everything to us. Did I understand that you guys do have like a 90-day period that you're asking everybody, folks, to like have everything in to you, or is that just your time for review?
That's just the time for review. Okay. So usually there's 30-day windows, but it can stop and start depending on if there's more information that's needed after the review. So the 90-day is basically from the time that the application is completed through the time of the decision. So basically that's how much time we have to get a decision to the applicant.
What other questions do we have out there?
This is William. I have a question regarding insurance on professional services. What all insurance do you require for professional services?
Well, I'm trying. Well, I'm not real sure about that. You know, I'll have to ask. I know for the application, for the part that I would help you with, I would just, you know, ask what type of insurance that you already have, or if you're bonded, usually there's some type of bond, you know, bonding, then that's what I would advise you to submit. But I know the reviewers have specific guidelines for each industry and for each service. So it would basically be up to them. But if I was helping you with the application, I would tell you to, you know, that's where you would put any insurance that you have for your business, any bonding and all of that. So just depending on what your industry is.
I would also add, a lot of times the primes will have requirements on insurance for their subcontractors providing professional services. And that may be, and I don't know how ODOT handles this, but that may be the same or different than what ODOT requires for their contract. So it's always good, I think, to ask the primes what their requirements are, because they'll require you to provide that certificate of that COI, that certificate of insurance, along with typically any invoices that you submit, or with your application, you know, with your qualification materials. So that's a great question.
Yeah, that's a good question. So that's probably happening more on the back end after the contract, or is that something that's just included in any initial certifications, like in the SBE certification? Is there a certain type of?
Yeah, in the City of Tulsa's program, we really just look at ability to be bonded for contractors, but we don't look so much at professional licensing, professional license, like professional services, insurance. They're typically, like, if a prime is practicing, they'll have requirements for their subcontractors about what insurance that they require for things like automobile liability or et cetera. So that's not passed on to the prime. But that's certainly something you'll want to think about negotiating too, if that is a barrier to your doing contracting with a prime contractor.
Yeah. Now, I guess I can mention the website. It is, I think it's changed to Department of Oklahoma, and then Transportation Department. But yeah, all the agencies is under, you know, there's new websites, so it's under one main website logo. Then you can click on different agencies. So I didn't want to confuse anyone with giving those links. But if you Google, you know, Oklahoma Department of Transportation, and then once you get to that site, you can Google DBE or Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, and it will lead you to the right place. It's just the links that I was clicking wasn't going where I needed it to go. But there was an information sheet. I don't know if IT has it, or I guess I can share it. Sorry, my screen's been shared to give you guys my contact information if anybody needs help with an application. Okay, so those are my numbers. Again, that website is probably won't take you to the right place, but contacting me directly, we can set up an appointment. What I will usually do is email out the checklist and then the forms that you would fill out of ours that you have to upload back into the system. I will send it out to you. I usually tell people to read over that, then call me back and let me know what questions you have, and we can set up a time to either meet face-to-face or FaceTime, and I'll help you fill out the application on the computer. Everything is done electronically. Everything is uploaded. I'm not part of the decision-making. I'm just here to help you get the right information in, and if I need to help scan something in or help get some information, I can do that too. So. Please don't be afraid to utilize the contact information.
And Kellye, I had one more question that came to me, and that was if once people are registered or certified, how do they find out about new contracting or proposal opportunities?
So the onboarding that happens after you're newly certified, like we do them regularly, but I can do one-on-ones if someone's actively really trying, let's go ahead and get started and let me try to find work. I can do a one-on-one onboarding, and I show the different, there's a calendar and all of this information. Most of it is public, but it's just, we train you how to find it. So there's a calendar of the projects, and then it shows when the lettings are so that people can strategize their networking and getting their capability statements to persons who are buying those projects. So there's a section on the website that you can see the calendar of listed projects, and then you can go to a different section and see who bought the plans for those projects. And so we encourage people to look at both of those lists, and then there's a liaison list, and we actually tell them to contact the people that are on the liaison list of the ones who bought the plans. I know that sounds like a lot, I'm sorry. Basically, you find it on the website. If you're certified, I can show you how to get there.
I think one of the great services that Odot offers is that you do have onboarding for certified DBEs once they're on. So you have someone who will sit down, and Kellye will walk through the program with you about and just let you know how to actually access that information. So I think that's really helpful.
And that has been one of the biggest requests for training is, what do I do to bid? How do I estimate a quote? How do I bid? What am I doing? So we actually just had a panel of certified DBE prime. So companies who have grown their companies and they're either on the brink of graduating out, but they're still small but big enough to handle bidding directly to ODOT. We had them come in and talk about all of that, hoping that we can, match them up with some other DBEs to find work. And then we have another training scheduled next week on more of a broader view of just, any contract. So, City of Tulsa, City of Oklahoma City, just kind of trying to show them ways, getting on bid sync and finding projects just, overall instead of specifically just for ODOT. So, very great question.
And do they have to be a certified DBE with ODOT to participate in those trainings?
Well, the panel one was specifically for certified firms. The training that I'm offering Wednesday, and we'll more than likely the flyer will go out today, and I'll send it to you later. You can pass it out. The training for Wednesday, the overall kind of bidding training is for any small business. Mm-hmm. But through our set program. Yes.
Yeah. I really appreciate what you guys do. Other questions, Aaron or William, or that you guys have?
No, thanks for the information. It was really great and helpful.
Thank you guys for joining. Thank you for listening to me. Again, that contact information has been up. I guess we can leave it up for another couple of minutes. And I'm always available, so you can email, text, and I'll get back with you.
Yeah. Thank you, Kellye. I appreciate your joining us today. I'll mention again, Kellye's training on Wednesday that they'll be doing, that's open to all on just all types of contracting. The City of Tulsa will have another training program that'll be going on in December, specific to engineer architect, LOI, SOQs, letter of interest, statement of qualifications, and how to improve those. If you're looking to grow as a prime, that's something that you'll need to be able to do, is fill those out and have a good one. And so we want to help you guys as you grow your business beyond being a subcontractor to being a prime contractor. And this is one of the trainings we will be offering. We endeavor to also be putting together additional ones in the first quarter of 2021. We'll get those announced here shortly. But if there are no other questions, we appreciate you guys joining us today, and we look forward to talking with you again here soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.